Okay, hi, welcome to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile. I'm here with my friend Blade, and we're going to be showcasing off his Buster Blade deck, along with the specially made Buster Blade mat, which I actually got him for his birthday. So, yeah, let's just hop into it, and then obviously just if any combos need to be explained, we can go through it. Right, so...
First off, hello folks. Well, it's not just a Buster Blade deck. I've been trying to work in a Red Eye's Dark Magician engine into it, which it's not working pretty well. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? Starting off with Omni Dragon Brotaur. Simple effect, card. You consider how much stuff you're going to be losing. It will be a godsend just to be able to pull out as a defense, and you're also discarding low cards anyway, so it's never always useful. One copy of the Blackstone of Legend, with it actually.
The light's reflecting on it a little bit, so it's fine.
Yeah, one copy of Blackstone of Legend, which useful card again. How lets me recycle my Red Eyes Black Dragons, pulls them out so I can use it for fusion, so forth.
Yeah.
One single copy of Wizard Buster.
Yeah, so this is part of the Buster Blade support back in the Clash of Rebellion, whatever it was, Breaks of Shadow.
Yeah, that's it.
And this is basically the, if I can let you read this thing.
The idea is it's basically the anti-necromancer card. It locks out graveyard effects of monsters.
There you go.
It does have another effect where if you use one, because the idea is you equip it to your Buster Bladers. Specifically, it has to be listed as Buster Blader, and you actually use it to lock out graveyard effects when it's equipped, but you can then remove it, send it to the graveyard from the being equipped to actually pull back another Destruction Sword card back into your hand.
Yeah.
The next is Robot Buster. This guy is the anti-continuous effect card. So anti-continuous spells, traps.
Yeah, so it looks like their main for field effects and stuff. So, you know, like if you had a Dragonic Diagram or something that was out on the board, they couldn't use the effect to search or anything like that.
Exactly. Or if you're fighting some, well, trap decks, like for example, I guess, well, not really trap tricks. Maybe, I don't know, Volcanic.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Just as a Maverick strategy. But yeah, basically the same sort of thing with it.
Its secondary effect is just descend to graveyard, gain 1,000 attack. Yeah. Not really that useful, but it can be if you need in the right circumstance.
Yep.
Moving these up.
That's fine.
Next, 2 copies of Buster Blader, the original classic version. Okay, no, it's the altered version.
Yeah,
but
this is the Korean release. So you're running 3 of this originally, weren't you?
No, not the Korean release, the anniversary release from 10th anniversary. And I'm running, originally I was running 3 of these, but when I started running the Dark Magician and the Red Eyes engine, I kind of had to drop it down a bit.
Okay.
Speaking of, 2 Dark Magicians.
Yep.
And 2 Red Eyes Black Dragons.
Yeah, they'll be pretty self-explanatory when we get to the sort of main combo cards and everything.
Yep. As well, I will admit there's a bit of preparation for the future if we get a certain card.
Yeah, we all know what that is. So.
Anyway, 2 copies of Buster Blader, the Destruction Swordsman.
Yeah, the updated one.
The only reason I run 2 and not like 3 of this or 3 of this is, honestly, because this guy doesn't count as a Buster Blader in hand, some card effects do not work off it.
Yeah, that doesn't really help with it, the fact that it doesn't have that requirement. Plus, you've got a lot of level 7s that you don't want to be dead drawing too much into.
Exactly.
So,
though its effect is useful. It's basically when a monster is destroyed on the enemy's side, you equip it instead, and then you can proceed to do a Crush Card Virus effect.
Pretty much. Just send one of the equipped cards to destroy a monster of that type that was sent.
Next up, 2 Prismas, most of recent edition.
Yep, so just standard thing with most Fusion decks, you just reveal a monster for the extra deck, mill the copy, and then it becomes its name, so that helps out.
Then 2 Keepers of Dragon Magic.
Yeah, so this is originally kind of useful Dark Magician support. Just pitch a card, search out a poly or some kind of fusion spell, and then just reveal the monster from the extra deck, and then summon its appropriate material from the graveyard and face down defend.
A key thing I need to point out as well, it's a dragon, meaning it's useful with a certain fusion from the Buster side of things.
Yeah. You do be careful though, because when you use him, you're only locked into fusion summoning for the rest of the turn.
But this deck is mostly fusion based, so...
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter too much. But...
Next up, 2 cards that's going to be infamous when a certain Link card is released.
Yeah,
Dragon Buster.
Yep.
Like the other 2 Destruction Sword equipped cards, this you can equip it only to Buster Bladers, but it has an interesting effect. It locks out the enemy's extra deck in its entirety.
Yeah. So we've got to see what happens when Union Carrier gets released and see whether that gets hit or whether this gets hit. And honestly, we don't want this to be hit, do we?
No, I really don't, because I love this card.
Yeah, it's handy. Anyway, so any hand traps in this, or?
Actually, no. I'm not a man who likes using hand traps myself. It's more of a personal thing.
All right. So there we go. Is that all the monsters?
Nope, there's one monster left. And actually there's another thing as well. Because this guy, when he's equipped, it can actually pull itself out as a monster. It can just pull itself back out into the field.
Yeah, it's like a standard union monster. That's fine.
Pull out Buster Blader, equip it, then lock out the enemy's board for a turn, and then you can just synchro summon into whatever you need.
Yeah.
Or link. Then 3 copies of this guy, the Buster Whelp.
Yeah. So searching on normal summon or attribute it to special summon a Buster Blader, but it has to be Buster Blader specifically, unfortunately, because of the Swordmaster.
He does become a Buster Blader in the graveyard, which does mean it can be targeted, but that has limitations.
Yeah. But that's kind of like the main kind of starting card you want to.
And also, when you normal summon it, you can actually search out any Destruction Sword card, which is
which there's a few spell and traps which can be linked with that, which we'll get to momentarily.
Now, a favorite card of mine, Slash Draw.
Yeah, you run 3 of everything, but obviously when it got hit with the OTJ, you just run it for the means of synergy and recycling. But it's because it's just handy in general.
Oh yeah, and especially with a certain other card that came out recently.
Pot of Avarice, yeah. A lot of monsters good means of recycling, so you use the draw power. There's quite a few bits of draw power in this, isn't there?
Yep, it's that's one thing I would tend to work towards. Instead of having hand traps, I work towards going fast.
Yeah, effectively. Right. So what other ones do you have in this?
I also have Reasoning, because Reasoning is always useful. 1 copy of Red Ice Fusion for the moment. 1 copy of Destruction Sword Fusion.
Yeah, which is actually kind of like a super poly if your opponent has dragons on their board, so just bear that in mind if you do play it.
1 copy of the Card Destruction.
Yep.
2 copies of Polymerization, the classic anime art, because why not? 2 copies of the Sacred Sword of 7 Stars.
Yeah,
2 copies of Allure.
Yeah.
And I best tidy this up a bit because we're running out of space.
Yeah, I'll just I'll get the spells.
I'll grab the monsters.
That's fine. It's the first time doing this with somebody else, so just get used to it. There you go. Alright, so that's the spell lineup, isn't it?
Yep, but now we're on to the traps, which is where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
2 copies of Destruction Sword Flash.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting one. Has 2 effects. On the field, if you have a Buster Blader Fusion on the field, you can actually activate this effect and just banish the entire all the monsters on your opponent's board.
Yeah, so basically like a much better Mirror Force kind of thing, except you don't have to restrict it to attack.
Really, it's more like a trap version of Raigeki, if anything.
Yeah,
on
and
steroids.
Then it protects it from targeting because you just banish it from the graveyard to negate its effect.
Yeah, but only works on if a Buster Blader is being targeted. It has to be specifically that.
That's fine.
3 copies of Trap Trick.
Yeah, just sets up your stuff for use in general.
And you do need it for this deck, honestly.
Yeah.
3 copies of Prologue.
So this is basically the thing that gets the synchro out the extra deck quickly, and then you can banish it with the graveyard to protect it from destruction for a turn.
There's actually another thing as well. It actually has a cost specifically that lists 1 Buster Blader and 1 Destruction Sword card. Yeah, not in that order.
Which would be the next. I'm assuming it's going to be the next card we're going to see too, isn't it?
Usually it tends to be the one I'm going to be showing next. But the reason I mention this is it's a cost, meaning even if the summon is negated, or it will still work. And additionally, it can't be Ash Blossomed.
Yeah, which is handy because of the fact that the sending is a cost. So.
And finally, Destruction Sword Memories for the main deck.
Yeah, this is probably would you say this is the best card for the deck?
One of the more important ones.
Yeah, so basically it's just means summoning out your Buster Blader, but then it also means that you can fusion summon using stuff in the graveyard. So it's kind of like a much better sort of necro fusion.
It only has 1 target for the fusion summon though.
Yeah, but it's a good thing for the deck.
Oh yeah, and besides, you're pulling the guy out often. Apologies.
That's fine. Alright, so that's the main deck done.
Now onto the extra deck.
Yeah.
You're going to want to run 3 of these guys.
Yeah.
Basically the biggest... biggest lockdown for any dragon.
Yeah.
If they have basically dragons can activate their effects anywhere.
Yeah.
Be it in a deck, hand, graveyard, banished, you name it, it's gone.
Yeah. So this is obviously handy with that, and it gains a stack for every dragon in each player's field and graveyard, and it can deal piercing and attack for every monster once each.
And you're forgetting one thing: it forces all dragons into defense position.
Yeah, that's also a handy thing. So you better get your defense bulked up if you want to be able to stop this thing. But it can't attack directly, which is its only real limitation of it.
But they're releasing a Link monster that will help with that front, at least.
Yeah.
For the moment, 2 copies of Dark Magician the Dragon Knight.
Yeah.
With how reliant this deck is on back row, it's always useful to have a copy of this set available.
Makes sense.
1 copy of Dark Cavalry. It's basically a similar vein as the Buster Blader, but except it's more negation. And one thing I did not realize recently, when one of the Destruction Sword equipped monsters are equipped, they actually count as a spell or trap. So it increases its potency.
Yeah, that's handy.
1 copy of Dark Paladin. I mean, I'm running Buster Blader and
Yeah.
Dark Magician. I may as well.
Yeah, spell negation's always nice. So.
1 copy of Red Eye Slash Dragon. Again, more negation, always useful.
Yeah, so people love the negates.
Next is another important monster for the deck. 2 copies of Buster Dragon.
Yeah, so this is what turn you basically want to have this and your Swordsman out because this forces every monster to become a dragon, and then it just basically makes your opponent struggle a little bit with it.
It also has another effect, well, 2 effects. If it's on your turn and you have no Buster Bladers on the field, you can just pull out a Buster Blader on no ifs, ands, or buts. If it's on the enemy's turn, you can equip a Destruction Sword card to a Buster Blader you control. Which means, suddenly on the enemy's turn, you're locking them out of their extra deck.
Yeah.
Then 1 Red Eyes Tyrant Dragon. The issue with Prologue is that after two turns of activation, this guy gets destroyed.
Yeah.
So the idea is you activate Prologue, wait till it's about the end of the second turn, then go into a Synchro Summon for this guy. It's not the most effective, but it helps.
Yeah.
1 copy of Red Eye Slash, level 7 engine with
Flare metal, he means.
Flare metal.
Useful for later games, so you know, just if opponent tries to activate anything, then they get burnt.
And since I run Red Eyes Black Dragon,
Yeah,
it lets me pull them out anyway.
Yeah.
1 copy of Link Karibo.
Yeah, because you got level 1s that can work with it.
I have like 5 level 1s.
Yeah.
1 copy of Lamp for Ignis. That
Yeah.
guy's getting replaced as soon as that link I mentioned earlier is released.
Yeah, it's fine. But it's good for the meantime.
Yeah,
And
and 1 Blackluster Soldier, the Soldier of Chaos.
Yeah, so
I think this guy needs no explanation, does he?
that's fine. So that's the extra deck. Very elaborately explained. So, there we go.
Hey, it's the main part of the deck.
Yep, and now just quickly, if we can do it the sideboard.
Yep. 1 Red Eye is a Darkness Metal.
More special summons, basically.
Yep. 1 Red Eyes Alternative.
Another free summon, basically, and back row disruption.
Another copy of Red Eyes Black. 2 copies of Red Eyes Fusion.
Yeah.
1 Buster. 1 more Wizard Buster. 1 more Dragon Buster. 1 more Destruction Sword Fusion. 2 copies of Guan Yu.
So this is basically like Cyber Dragon, but better. Just summon it if your opponent has more monsters than you, and then you get to pop a card, well, a monster specifically.
Yep.
That's very so, and it's a level 7 too, so it's a Sacred Sword target.
1 copy of Allure of Darkness.
Yep.
And Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend.
Yeah, handy Raigeki effect, so can't complain.
An extra copy of Red Eyes Flare Metal. And finally, number 11, Big Eye.
That's a classic. And there we go. That's basically everything. And that's the deck profile for Blade Master's Buster deck. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this, and I shall catch you next time for whichever deck profile I'll do next, whether it's me or him. Alrighty, take care.
See ya.